Hello, beautiful people. I'm back again with a quick video. Just wanted to drop a quick word, just some thoughts, some revelations that I had today, talking with clients. I love bringing you information and new revelations that I get, whether it's through consultations or through my own experiences through the years, reflecting on life and working with inner child work and really coming to the place in my life where I'm learning about the importance of energy and, communicating with my inner child and really just sharing that information so that other women can also be empowered in being their best selves, presenting their best selves and the best version of who they're meant to be to the world. So today I wanted to talk about respect. And respect is seen in different ways. It depends on the culture where you live, what part of the world you're in. But respect is definitely something that is across the board. It is supposed to be recognized as your DNA, as your DNA, something that you uphold. And once you uphold something, whether it's respect, honesty, compassion, or whatever, once you communicate that to someone, they should be able to respect you for it and respect you for your beliefs and your opinions. And we've come to this place in the world where it's hard for people to accept the fact that not all of us are going to have the same opinions and values. The point is, it's okay to not have it's okay not to have the same opinions and values, but the saying goes, agree to disagree. So it's one of those things where living in a world where there's, especially post-pandemic, where there has been a lot of talk about the vaccine, about racism, about a lot of topics, abortion laws, etc., what a woman should do with her body, etc. There's a lot of hot topics that have, gotten in the way of us really being able to work together as one and unifying, because of whether it's religion or where you grow up or how you were brought up or whatever. It's hard for a lot of people to come to common ground, and to find that common ground in the middle where you can agree to disagree. And it's just one of those things where this is just reflection, where I realize that we first have to respect ourselves as women, as queens. We first have to realize that I am a queen. I am supposed to be respected. I require nothing less than the best, nothing less than respect in life. And in life, when you live that way, it's one of those things where people will feel that energy from you. When you feel confident and you feel like you are a queen, you feel like you deserve respect. When you feel great about yourself and you're eating healthy and you're exercising and you're pampering yourself and you're doing everything that's required as a queen to have your self-esteem where it needs to be high, and that you are showing yourself the love that you deserve, etc. When you show up for yourself 100%, other people will show up for you. When you respect yourself and you demand that from yourself, other people will respect you as well. When you say to yourself, I will be honest with you, and you're honest with yourself and you're truthful with yourself and you're not lying to yourself and not showing up for yourself, other people will also come to you with that same measure. They will lie to you. They will not show up for you. They may say, I'm going to meet you at such and such place, and they don't show up. Well, when things like that happen, it is our opportunity. It's an opportunity for us as queens to look inside ourselves and question, I wonder what it is that I am projecting to the universe that's causing these issues to reoccur or to occur, period. You've got to look back at yourself, because, what you see in the world is the inside reflecting out. So what's happening on the outside is the direct reflection of what's going on inside of us. And so when anything happens that turns us off, or that is our pet peeve, or that we don't like, or that we are disgusted by, or whatever the case would be, it is our duty to make sure that we go internally and fix whatever it is that needs to be fixed. Identify what it is that is the issue or the problem there, because it's the outside circumstances are showing us. It's a mirror of what is on the inside of us. So it's kind of like when I'm looking at this camera, I'm seeing myself. You're seeing me, I'm seeing me. It's a reflection of me. When you look in the mirror, you see a direct reflection of yourself. And so likewise, when you look in the world, and when you are communicating with people and you go to the supermarket, you see people, you have experiences with a cashier, with people who are shopping, people at work, you're constantly around people wherever you go. So whenever there's an issue or an argument or a fight or whatever, God forbid any of that ever happens, but it does. Not physically fighting, but verbally, when you come in contact with people, you are going to have differences of opinions. You're going to have different personalities. You're going to have different backgrounds, different upbringing. You're going to have people who come with their issues to work, people who come with baggage, and they think that they can dump it all on you, but the point is, you can be in a company with people that are all toxic, and they all have issues, and they all come with their drama. But if you are the only person there with the right standards, and you are the only person there with the integrity, and you show up for yourself, you have your self-esteem, and all of that is intact, one of two things are going to happen. Either they are all going to quit and leave because they can't handle your vibration and your energy. Or number two, they are going to eventually just go away, go to a different department, be promoted, leave that department. All of a sudden, you don't see them anymore. So like I said in a previous video, what you rehearse is what you attract to you. So the more you rehearse something is the more you're going to push it towards you. That thing is going to come towards you. The more you meditate on it and rehearse it is the more that it's going to come to you. For example, if you're on the road driving and you're constantly thinking about the police, and you don't want to encounter the police, and you hate police, and you are, just fed up of how the police brutality and all of that is going on in the world, guess what? You are going to attract police officers wherever you go. For some reason, they're always going to be behind of you when you're driving, trying to get somewhere, or you may come in contact with a police officer when you're shopping, or whatever the case it would be. Whatever you constantly rehearse and what you feel and hear is what's gonna come your way. So we want to make sure, queens, that whatever we are meditating on and rehearsing and conversing about, that rhymed, conversing about within ourselves, that those things are positive. Yes, we all have horrible days. We all have days where we're like, why did I do that? Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. Oh my God, I wish I didn't do this. Oh my God, I wish I handled this differently. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, that. We all have those days where we're beating ourselves up. We are critiquing ourselves. We have a bad day with somebody at work, or, somebody, when we're out and about at a restaurant, whatever the case would be. Again, we always have to come in contact with people. So there's always something that's going to come up. The question is, how are you going to deal with it? Are you going to be proactive, or are you going to be reactive? You never want to be reactive. You never want to react to people and how they're acting towards you. You always want to make sure that you are inside of your body. And I will communicate that in my next video. You want to make sure that you're always inside of your body, studying yourself, studying your values, your what you were brought up believing. You want to make sure that you are at peace within yourself, and that nothing on the outside rocks or shakes that internal peace on the inside, because you will be tested. You will be tested wherever you go. You will be tested. People will test you, especially when queens see other queens that are strong and are dignified and know who she is. And, some queens are threatened by other queens. So you will be tested. Some men will see you and, they will test you to see what they can get away with as far as dating or getting to know you is concerned. They will try to disrespect you. Some men would do that. They try to disrespect you just to see if you have standards and just to see if you're going to stick with what you say you're going to stick with. And they're going to test you. For example, I've had to tell some men, when they're communicating with me, I'm so sorry, I don't do curse words. Can you talk to me without communicating with curse words? Just let's be respectful. Let's be respectful. And oh my God, I didn't realize that. And they have a, explanation, and then and they stop it. And if it's something where it continues, I just decide either not to communicate with that person anymore, or I just, decide whatever the next course of action would be. It depends on if it's a family member or whatever the case might be. But, it's one of those things where you have to reiterate at times. I told you 3 strikes, you're out. That's my rule. 3 strikes and you are out. So if I told you the 3rd time, I'm going to tell you this. Okay, the first time the person disrespects me, I'm going to say, let's do the subject of cursing. I know that you're very passionate about what you're talking about right now, but I don't do curse words. So I would really appreciate it if you can communicate with me and not use those words when you're speaking with me, just out of respect. And then number 2 is, I mentioned this before, and I would want to remind you once again, this is the 2nd time I want to reiterate that I don't do curse words. And I would appreciate it if you would delete that from your language or from your vocabulary when you're talking to me. And then finally, the 3rd time, this is the final and the last time I'm going to mention to you that I do not appreciate you speaking with curse words towards me when we're having a conversation. And this is the last time I'm going to reiterate this. If it happens again, I will have to discontinue this communication and this relationship and leave it at that. After the 3rd time, you already gave them a warning, and that's it. You just have to take a course of action to protect yourself and leave at that point. Of course, like I mentioned also, that's okay if you are, you don't see someone every day, but if it is someone that, for example, if you are married and you live with that person, of course, you're going to have to deal with that in a different way. Of course, if it's a coworker, you'll have to take the proper course of actions, but you will just want to make sure that you do everything decently and in order. And, actions speak louder than words is what my mom always used to say to me growing up. And now I realize, wow, you know what? Actions do speak louder than words. And when you act things out, men will get it, especially men. Men pay attention to your actions, and they will get the message based on how you act towards them. It's not so much what you say, it's what you do. And when dating, You know, I'm not dating right now, but when I was dating, and I will again one day, but when dating, I've always been cognizant of that. You know, it's been one of those things that I mastered recently in the self-care journey, is that wow, it's what you do with people, around people, that really teaches them to either respect you or disrespect you. It's your responses to what they say, what they do, how they act. Because they could be going on like a clown in front of you, and you could be sitting in a chair, just looking at them and not reacting. You're just like looking at them play a clown, act like a clown. And you have no time for that, so it's one of those things where you don't always have to talk and say what's on your mind. Your actions and your words, coupled with your words, can be very significant. But most importantly, it's your actions, how you act. So going crazy and acting ghetto and cussing and wanting to fight and punch your fist in somebody's face and all of that does nothing. It cures nothing. It just duplicates violence. It replicates, and it births more and more and more violence. And one day, God forbid, you get shot because of that. Because it never stops until somebody dies, until somebody feels like they had the last word. And unfortunately, a lot of people who want the last word, they will pick up a pistol, they will pick up a gun, and then they want to kill you. That way, they get rid of you and they got the last word out of that altercation. So it's always good to make sure that you're in your body and that you are aware that, okay, this person is going off, but guess what? I don't have to go off with them. Meaning they're cussing and they're acting a fool. You don't have to get to that level. As queens, we are on a throne. We are, acting as royalty, ambassadors. And so we have an invisible crown on our head, and so we are constantly acting in alignment with, what is in us, what God has put on the inside of us, which is gold. We have a gold mine on the inside of us. So that's why it's just so important for us to know our value, be reminded of our worth, be reminded of who we are, be reminded of the fact that we are not to be taken for granted. We are to be taken into consideration all the time. And if somebody abandons you, that's not their problem, that's your problem. That is you. Something that we're doing that's reflecting that it's okay for that person to abandon us, and it's not okay. It's one of those things where you have to make a decision consciously. Who will I have in my life and who will I not have in my life, based on how I feel around these people, how I feel about our relationship, how I feel when I'm on the phone with them, prior to the call, during the call, and after I hang up the call. What is my body feeling throughout that entire process? When I see them, how do I feel? When I hang out with them, go out with them, hang out or whatever, how do I feel before, during, and after that interaction? People are always communicating with us how they feel about us. But you know what? The most important thing is, how do you feel about you? Respect is critical, but it always starts with us respecting ourselves. When we respect ourselves, others will follow suit and do the same.